I got the bright idea. I said, "Can you make me a Bloody Mary for my second? Can you make me a Bloody Mary with no ice?" And they're like, "Yeah." So you just take that up to your room, put it in the refrigerator, and then you come down for breakfast the next day, and you put some ice from the soda machine, and you're the only one rocking a Bloody Mary the next morning at breakfast. So you get your
so
eggs,
nice.
biscuits, and gravy. So this time around, this is like several years later, right? Now they give you 3 tickets. They still have Bud Light, but they have Tower Station. So it's like they adopted my plan, like, because like really, I mean, you're not going to sit in a hotel and power down, you know, 3. I mean, you might 3 Mother Roads. You're like, I want to go to the actual Mother Road because it's like right down the street, and I want to try some other beers, right?
Arizona is a wildly beautiful place, brimming with over 100 brewing companies. I'm Rob Fulmer, the Executive Director of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild. I'm joined by Deputy Director Andrew Bauman. Together we cover the state, bringing you the best of what's happening at our breweries and beyond. Welcome to Arizona Beer Frontier.
Wonderful. Hi, Rob.
Hi, Andrew Bauman.
How you doing, bud?
I'm doing all right. I'm getting a little sun here in Flagstaff.
That looks super nice, man.
Yeah, you know, it's actually going to be a little warm. It's 70 degrees, but the sun is the sun. The sun is the sun. The sun can really do some damage.
Yeah. The sun is the sun, Rob says. I got sunburned in a very more than I've recently had when I was up there this weekend. I woke up on Sunday morning and I said, "Oh, that is my neck," and it is very red.
So today is May 23rd, Tuesday, and we will release this Wednesday or Thursday of this week. So just to get everyone caught up, I noted that the legislature is still in session, though on a break. So all these laws that we have racked up, ready to go, are on hold until they close the session and then 90 days. So they're coming back on June 12th. Presumably they're going to work on transportation issues, one of them being funding Maricopa County's transportation. Not really sure why the rest of the state has an opinion on that. Seems odd to me.
Is it because Maricopa County wants the money?
They want to raise taxes. They want to continue that tax raise of point whatever cents per whatever to fund transportation. Again, I don't know why anyone from Kingman cares about that, but there you go.
This is some of that complicated stuff that's really annoying.
Yeah, so the budget is passed. So once the Senate says we're done. There are a few bills outstanding, and they have another water issue. Governor Hobbs vetoed a bill that would have provided water to that wildcat community outside of Scottsdale. I guess there's another bill that might ride on into the future on, but so there's a couple issues. But I hope the rumors aren't true that the Senate is going to hold the session open indefinitely. I'm not sure what that would mean. I understand that there might be some gamesmanship at play there. They got their budget, so let's get the work done, and let's gavel out by the end of the month, at least June.
Why can't we do? Oh yeah, because they're not coming back till June 12th. Damn it! I was hoping May. Well, I guess we can't have everything, but it would be nice to have a time for our bills to be in effect. That wasn't like October.
Right on.
That water thing, I'm so glad she vetoed it, because Scottsdale isn't refusing to send them water because they can't. Scottsdale's not sending them water because they can't. So I really wish that they would be a longer term solution that someone could come up with for those people other than gosh, I guess you should have read your contract, because that's not great when you've invested in a house and all of a sudden you can't live there because you can't get water.
Right.
Trouble. I don't like it.
All right. So we were both up here at the same time, but we didn't see very much each other. This was last weekend. You came up earlier. You also did a collaboration beer earlier last week. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Man, I had a good time. I went down to Eloy and visited with our good friend Josh at Ranch Hand Brewing, along with Erica and Todd from Button, and we had just a whole gang of people from the Four Peaks organization. Melissa, Teddy, Jim. It was a gang. It was a whole bunch. So it was pretty fun.
Osborne, Ted Golden, Jim Roper.
Yeah.
Jim Scussel.
Yeah.
Okay. One of those Jims.
Yeah, as a Jim.
I think it was Scussel.
Okay.
Right? Owner, not the brewer. Yeah. Scussel.
No, not Jim Scussel.
Oh. All right. Then Jim Roper.
Yeah, Jim Roper.
Formerly of, way back in the day, Alaskan Brewing Company.
He was in, oh no, then Jim.
Different Jim.
The one Jim that we saw when we were in Nashville.
Scussel.
Okay. Glad you got through that. Jesus.
I'll do a Venn diagram.
It's weird because there's not that many Jims in the brewing industry.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch. There's a ton of Andrews, though. I don't know. Whatever.
More jobs.
I got there and they're making an alt beer. I actually got some pictures from them just today, between our earlier meeting and now. So I haven't really looked at it, but we're going to do that Ulterior Motives.
Nice.
The name of the beer. Yeah, it's a Sticker Alt. Sticker Alt.
Which means secret.
We also, I just told everybody. Dang it. And we did hot scotchies.
Nice.
One of our favorite things. Filled up about 20 red Solo cups, about a third full. Added some bourbon. It was delicious. Wonderful.
Jealous.
That's what mornings are like at breweries, apparently. Don't say that. Everyone's going to believe it. That's not true.
So what was the occasion? Just cause?
Yeah. Just thought, hey, let's get together and do a collab. And they just decided to. They are not in this.
Who was the driving force behind this? Was it Four Peaks or was it Ranch Hand or?
I know it was at Ranch Hands, but I'm not sure who the driving force was. I think it was Four Peaks, actually.
Good.
You know, it's tough to do a short run beer on their system and in their calendar, but it is nice when you can do. Gosh, they have a 20 barrel system at Ranch Hand. Is that right? I think so.
Yeah, I can tell we're gonna have a problem with this system because the Zoom is recording, and when there's a glitch, it catches up, so your voice speeds up. This is going to be a real challenge, but I'm up for it. And I also had a helicopter fly over.
I didn't hear the helicopter, so good job on your little muffle there. But I have a whole other recording going on right over here.
Okay.
It looks a lot better too. Oh, except everything's backwards. Like letters are all backwards. I don't know. It's fine.
It's all about the audio.
So we had a good time at our collab.
So then you also went up to Flagstaff.
Yeah, I went to the Overland Expo in Flagstaff. We went up Friday morning nice and early. And if we can get here by 8 o'clock when the gates open, we'll find ourselves a great spot and it'll be perfect. We didn't end up getting there till 8:45 because I have a little hint. If you want to get gas in Black Canyon City, guess what? No. It says 2 gas stations. Guess what? They're both closed.
What?
So I pull in expecting to be able to get gas. And, I wasn't like my yellow almost out of gas light, but I was holding on to get out of Maricopa County, right? So that I could get that cheap gas.
Yeah.
That real polluting gas. That's what I'm looking for. No dice. I had to drive backwards to get gas 10 miles. I wasted half an hour on my way there trying to get that stupid gas.
Ouch.
I know. I wish I had a beer to wash my sorrows down with.
I would have been in the doghouse. I don't know if you were, but I would have been in the doghouse.
Nah. So we wasted half an hour. Anyways, we got there at about 8:45, pulled in, and it was already packed because getting there early means early on Thursday, not Friday. So
what is the Overland Expo? Like, what's a
Yeah.
sentence that you could say about it?
The Overland Expo is a celebration and sales opportunity for people in the I like driving my vehicle where there are no roads or very rough roads. That's overlanding. And then you most often sleep in your vehicle, or a lot of people have rooftop tents. And that's what it's about. And many of these people go across continents, not just through Arizona like me. So there were classes on how to deal with borders all the way down to Chile,
Wow.
and all kinds of stuff, safety and mechanics while you're in the middle of a forest, and animal first aid, and mapping when there's no satellite, and all the stuff.
Nice.
Yeah,
Did you,
so that was cool.
what was a big takeaway you got from any of that?
Well, Arizona Wilderness was the beer sponsor.
Oh, nice.
That was pretty cool. One of the big takeaways was that people want to sell you a lot of stuff. And it was fun. Yeah, it's fun. I got a nice shirt, but I didn't really get any gear for my travels because, it rained really bad on Friday. And so that's not true. I did go into town and I went to Walmart and I bought a propane heater for our tent. So no, otherwise, we were about to pack up and leave. But we did it.
That was the buddy heater, yes?
That was
the so-called
Mr.
buddy heater.
heater. Yeah. So that worked out well, and got to see Pat and John and Zach and the whole gang of the wilderness people hanging out. They overlanded up there too, because obviously they're big into camping.
Yeah. Do you think they slept in a tent off the ground on top of the roof of a car or a trailer?
I believe they were staying in Patrick's truck, which has a camper cab on the back of it. It's got like a pop-up camper cab. So it's low when you're driving, and then you raise it, and then it's got a little bed. And I don't know exactly what it looks like, but that was my impression.
Yeah. When I was a kid, we camped on the ground.
Yeah, we don't do that.
I know.
We have cots.
The floor is lava.
We have cots in a tent. So we're still scrubs because we were camping in a tent. And you could just see everyone watching as we were setting up, just like shaking their heads and laughing. It might have just been me feeling a little like, wow, this is such scrub. But that's okay. We're
Hey,
fine.
man, it'll come around in 10 or 20 years.
It was comfortable.
Minimal
Yeah.
camping.
I don't think so. Maybe I'll just upgrade to a
In the meantime, I was back at the office crafting our AI-assisted posters, and got that done. And then I came up on Saturday morning and distributed some from a couple places. I have some more to go. Brenda had to go back to the valley, so if I'm going to do them today, I got to get on the bike, which is fine. Get some posters out there, another set of posters. But then we went to Lumberyard for their 13th anniversary.
Yes. That was Saturday.
Yeah, they had a band. I think they made an exception for our dogs and our dogs alone, honestly. we had the.
Their barbecue was delicious.
I didn't get a chance to eat it.
Oh man, it was so good. Yeah, my dog was in no good headspace at the time. She had a very stressful day Friday. Saturday, we walked around the Expo. It was fine, but I think by the time we got to the Lumberyard event, she was just all over the place. So that was stressful for me.
Yeah. I got to run into Hunter and Maureen Basenberg. Maureen Basenberg was
really?
The
wow.
Girls Point Out. Yeah, they were up here. I know Hunter comes every year, and she might tag along. I don't know, but I just know from every once in a while his Facebook will pop up. So he went to the Overland Expo. They live in the Colorado Springs. Things are really taking off for them. So she came down. I think they dropped the kids off in Phoenix, and they were having dinner. So Brenda and I got to spend like maybe 45 minutes hanging out.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. And it was a little bit chaotic because there was a miscommunication about availability for my place up here. We Tom and Jill had some friends from out of town, and we got our wires crossed. So we ended up staying at the Drury Inn, and I hadn't been there in a long time, but it kind of threw me out of whack a little bit. And the dog must have been like, "Hey man, we're up here. What's going on? What the fuck is this shit? We're supposed to be. I'm supposed to be hanging out with my cousin
in the backyard.
Eula.
Why am I in this room?"
Yeah. Anyway, Drury Inn. I still think it's a great place to stay because my hacks for staying at the Drury Inn still apply, and in fact, they've improved upon them. Back in the day, when I would go, there was only one tap, Bud Light, at the happy hour. And at the happy hour, they have like 3 hot items, usually like hot dogs, macaroni and cheese, and make your own nachos, right? I mean, you go there 5:30, and then you get 3 drink tickets. And
great.
Oh no, at the time it was 2.
Yeah,
I think it was 2. So you're like
2.
Bud Light, and you're like, so all right, I'll have a dirty martini. Just rail vodka. And then I got the bright idea. I said, "Can you make me a Bloody Mary for my second? Can you make me a Bloody Mary with no ice?" And they're like, "Yeah." So you just take that up to your room, put it in your refrigerator, and then you come down for breakfast the next day, and you put some ice from the soda machine, and you're the only one rocking that Bloody Mary the next morning at breakfast. So you get your eggs,
nice.
Biscuits, and gravy. So this time around, this is like several years later, right? Now they give you 3 tickets. They still have Bud Light, but they have Tower Station. So it's like they adopted my plan, like, because like really, I mean, you're not going to sit in a hotel and power down, 3. I mean, you might 3 Mother Roads. You're like, I want to go to the actual Mother Road because it's like right down the street, and I want to try some other beers, right? So now you can get, a cocktail. You can get your 2 beers, or you could get 2 Bloody Marys for the next day.
Yeah, them breakfast Bloody Marys, they save the day sometimes.
Right. So if you want to save some money, because I know it's expensive up here, your Friday night, you get it there. You have, you have a meal that's going to remind you of your childhood. They got rid of the hot dogs, and they got rid of the macaroni and cheese. They now have baked potatoes, which is fine.
Potatoes and nachos?
Hot dogs and nachos. And tortilla soup.
This is a lot.
Yeah.
More than just standard happy hour. Like, that's meal stuff.
I know. So you could fortify the tortilla soup with a little mashed potato, right? Make it a stew. Pour a little beer in there. Come on.
The TTV says you can't fortify your soup.
Yeah. So, we don't have any kind of commercial agreement with Drury Inn, but there you go.
But you like it. It's okay. It's a personal recommendation. Sure.
Yes. No money is transacted. No. We don't have to check that little box on YouTube because I ain't getting paid for that.
Yeah. I got another trip up to Flag coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll first go to visit Wickenburg and talk about our Wickenburg Oktoberfest with the city and our contact Taylor up there. And then swing on over to Flagstaff and do some measuring of the grounds. And then you suggested maybe it'd be a good idea to stay overnight and
you should
visit some of those breweries and distribute some posters. So maybe that's going to go on.
Well, I'll distribute the posters.
Hey, Rob.
But yeah.
Come on. Just flow with it.
I would like you to do I would like to do some, instead of table toppers, I would like to do like the removable sticker with the QR code on the tables. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't understand what you're saying.
In addition to the posters,
yeah,
get a bunch of the removable stickers, like the decal stickers, like the cling stickers, for tabletops.
Oh, and just stick it on a table.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was a restaurant owner, I would tell you no. But who knows? Maybe we have more open-minded people than me.
Well, they are the ones that I've seen already have it for the QR code for their menu. So
that's true. That is a lot in Flagstaff. People have QR code menus still. In Phoenix, that's very rare. Have you noticed that?
It depends on where you go. You go. I'm taking it back usually, and I feel like when I forget, they hand me the menu. I'm like, oh, I got the old person menu. You know, like when you would go to like Denny's and like you get the menu with like 5 items on it, because like this guy's drunk. Just give him the 5.
Just give him the little menu. Perfect.
Hey, I want to take a quick break. Just cause.
All right.
I have to cough.
Let's take a break. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Burn it down.
What?
I'm having one of those NA IPAs.
It's called Burn It Down?
Burn It Down IPA, yep.
It doesn't really... A non-alcoholic beer doesn't really suggest burning things down.
It's not. And they have Burn It Down IPA, they have Street Cred Black. I mean, they're leaning into a certain ethos.
They're leaning into they're leaning into Trethaway's ethos, it sounds like.
Yes. Perhaps.
Are they reading his emails?
Chicago and Detroit aren't that far away from each other.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
There it is.
I am drinking a probably close-coated undercover cucumber, because I don't know when we got it, because when you're not staying at a place full time, little things, you don't know if like they're just a gift from the last time you were here that you forgot, or somebody else, or who knows. Could have bought this yesterday, or
yeah.
It's all right though. It's good.
Does it not have a date on it?
Don't be ridiculous. Why would it have a date on it? It doesn't. There's a lot of breweries that don't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
I asked about it. It's it's expensive. You the one who told me this? It's like they use the HP printing technology to say like, oh yeah, that ink's no good. We're not going to allow you to use that ink anymore. They've got the chipset in it, expired ink. They're doing that now.
In industrial printers?
Printers that some breweries are using right now, yes.
Okay.
For date coding. They won't let you print with expired ink. Whatever they say is expired.
That is news to me, so. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
I see both sides of it. I see it like, well, we sold you the ink and you should be able to use it however you please, whenever you please. But I can also see like, hey, we used your ink and, oh yeah, it was out of code, but so what? We have 100 pallets of bad product now. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why they would expire ink. That sounds ridiculous, but sure.
If there's one state that could dry out an ink cartridge, it's our state.
Yeah, I mean, but look at where you are. Like, probably not there.
It's still dry here.
Yeah?
Yeah, super dry.
It didn't feel dry when I was there.
Yeah, I avoided all the rain that you encountered. We're actually further up the hill too, so than Tut Hill by probably maybe 1,000 feet, maybe 500. I don't know.
A lot.
Can make a difference.
Yeah.
We have this big windscreen called the San Francisco Peaks. That stuff usually has to go around.
It likes to dump in front of the mountains rather than on the backside, right? Yes.
So I read an article. It was a poll. I don't mean to spring this on you. Maybe you saw my Facebook post, so maybe you know. Rank what industry contributed most to the Arizona economy. So one of them is mining, oil and gas. One is land swaps, agriculture, utilities, and tourism. What do you think of all those? What contributes the most to Arizona's bottom line?
Land swaps? Like, you mean the state's bottom line? Or just total economic impact?
The state. Oh, and sorry, and also income taxes. It's like in terms of the budget.
How about land swaps? Because I don't know what that even means.
All right, no.
Okay, great.
Take that out. What next?
Tourism.
There you go. Tourism. So here are the figures, and I don't think land swaps made the list of the. Okay. Well, I had to actually independently verify. So, in order of most important to least important, tourism brings in $129 billion. The state income tax brings in $10.6 billion.
Wow,
that's second.
Crazy.
That's how utilities are $11 billion, agriculture is $2.7 billion, mining, oil, gas, land swaps combined are $245 million with an M. So you're not wrong to get it wrong. It seems like people who are older than 55 get it right, and everybody else gets it less right.
Well, you got the breakdown on demographics of what people answered?
Yeah.
But
it's 18 to 55 and everyone 55 plus, and then then it goes into Hispanic and white male, white female. So it's just interesting because a lot of people who are younger think that income tax pays for all the stuff. So the whole I'm a taxpayer, I paid for, honestly, not really.
So little. I mean, but that's not how much the state budget gets from tourism, right? Those are the hotel taxes and
Arizona's annual revenue.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, it's not like every time someone tours and is a tourist, they just write this check to the state. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure because this was, the Arizona Lodging and Travel Association.
They buy packs of gum and paid. Oh yeah, that's true.
They're casting with the wine.
Fingers up a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, because the last figure I saw, and I haven't seen 2022's. I mean, we were saying 1.23 billion for craft beer. I can't imagine it went up last year. Probably stayed the same. Probably could look that up. Those figures are out for like at least a week, but so yeah.
Well, I think everything that we ever see just tells us more and more that Craft breweries need to be holding on to that hospitality game. Okay. I mean, I had to say it.
Yeah. Customers.
Also, never underestimate the value of keeping your Google listing updated. Like, what days are you open? What days are you closed? What new promos are you doing? Anything that changes that Google listing for free, your free Google listing for your brewery, helps move it up in the algorithm. Like, keep talking to it.
Yeah.
And consumers, find your brewery through Google more frequently than anything. Travelers more frequently than anything else. Period. Yeah. More than friend recommendations, more than Yelp, more than anything. Google listing is what people find your brewery at.
Yes, I often do the breweries near me. Hey, Google. Once in a while, I try to throw in something bizarre just to see what comes up, even though I know it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'll ask for what is a brewery with a chandelier near me? It doesn't know what it is, but it does change the answers somehow, even though I know that there's no chandelier. Maybe somebody in a review wrote the word chandelier. You never know. I had a chandelier of beers.
Don't fall, don't tip. So I had some more fun with AI today, trying to make trivia questions. And once again, they failed completely. I said, okay, I need to give me some general knowledge trivia questions for people between the age of 45, or between 25 and 35. And it listed some. And then one of them was which movie has the most Academy Awards? And it said The Godfather. I said, okay, can you give me some more questions? And it sent me another one. And the last question again was which movie has the most Academy Awards? And it said Ben-Hur. Like, it invented the question and gave me the wrong answers.
Huh.
It's very annoying. So when you said double check, you have to verify those numbers. Always verify.
Yeah. Well, I will confess that a large part of the copy for Real Wild and Woodsy is AI assisted. Also, our news release for the 5 medals that we won as a state at World Beer Cup was AI assisted.
So it's better at creative writing than fact finding.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't ask it to list those medals or anything about the history of those breweries. So it was more how to explain what happened. So for this trivia, as a non-plug, this would be for Thursdays at Desert Monks.
Thursdays at Desert Monk, yes.
Yeah. If you want to see Andrew ask questions.
Yeah. Oh, so fun.
Yeah.
So,
And our artwork is just the backgrounds for some of our stuff, not the actual original artwork, which we got from Mikkel Mason. So some of that, some of the brainstorming is AI assisted now.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Can be. I mean, it could be scary. You never know. I'd rather understand it before I jump into it. I asked it if it retains knowledge between sessions, and it said no, but clearly it can. I just don't know when it expires. So in other words, if I tell it, hey, I'm going to tell you a bunch of things about Andrew Bauman, and it will, when you're in that session of asking, it remembers it, but the way that the ChatGPT works it off, it's my immediate thread. So if I keep asking it questions referencing what I already told it, it seems to retain it for that session, but I haven't switched between them or to know if it does or not. So,
well, I was listening to a marketing podcast that talked about AI and copywriting and how it's not that it's going to get rid of copywriters. It's that copywriters can be more productive because they can send their information into the AI, get it back, and then tweak it. And then it all comes down to asking more questions. However, what
copywriting meaning people who write advertising copy, press release copy, not copyright as in trademark.
Right. So they did say you can set up different folders within the system, and you could give each folder a different voice. So if you're working with different companies, like as you train the AI, it saves that folder as a different whatever.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. So apparently it retains something.
I can tell you I wrote 12 times more than I got back usable. But the usable pieces I had, it would have taken me a lot longer to get to that point. And I might, and you can change the tone. You can ask it to do it shorter. You can...
More business-like, more casual, add some jokes in.
Yeah, you can say, write it as Ernest Hemingway would write it, which would be very short to the point sentences. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's taken something that was usually mundane and made it sort of fun for me to sort of play around with. Because it's not like we're gonna go like, hey Andrew, take a look at this, and you're not gonna go, hey, give me more active voice. I'd be like, fuck you.
Hey Rob, give me a more active voice on this.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well,
it's the Brewers Guild that's acting as a technology company.
We are. Yes, we are. We are. At least in this state, we're a technology empire for breweries. Yeah. Well, I don't have a lot more to say. I have one more just update on a change I've made to our trip to DC in July. Do you have anything else?
Not really.
I mean, we could talk about the fact that our event is looming, but we could talk a little bit about that. Do we have any?
I think everyone knows that now.
I don't know.
All right.
Sure. I tell you, the VIP tickets will probably sell out in another week. That's just my guess. They seem to be very popular. Any new? We'll know more when you get here Wednesday. So people have.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we have like 25 breweries signed up, which sometimes seems like a lot for that space. We're about to find out. Some of them asked for 10 by 20 booths. I may have to tell them no. We'll see. Got a couple food trucks. I've got about 5 or 6 breweries on the waiting list in case something happens with one of the existing breweries. The response was great. I mean,
yeah. The ratio
really
of people
fast.
to breweries is not going to change. In fact, It'll probably be in the favor of the consumer, obviously.
It is way more in favor of the consumer than before, than any other event that we do. But hey, it's cool. I mean, there's 20 people per brewery. It's a very, very, very low number.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Hey. So usually every year I get a comment about like, hey, can this festival not be on grass? I'm allergic to grass. I can't wait for someone to go, hey, I'm allergic to pine trees. But by the way, that's a very rare thing. Pine tree allergy. And certain times of the year, the pine tree pollen here is just like, it just dumps it. But very few people are allergic to that. But we'll find them.
Clouds.
We'll find them.
Great. Hey, Rob, are dogs allowed at this Real Wild and Woodsy festival?
Not so far, no.
No. Just like on most of our festivals, we do not have animals because, unfortunately, sometimes when people have beverages, they kind of fall away from being responsible pet owners.
Yeah, well,
Sad.
I mean, the long and short of it is we're dealing with potentially 3 different properties. So the terms and conditions and covenants therein generally prohibit that. And also it takes another kind of insurance. but we always work on it. But yeah, when you're in that environment, it seems like it's an off leash opportunity, and it's really just not. So, well, let me switch gears.
Tell me about DC.
Yeah.
That change.
So we are going to DC in July, and I had convinced you that a good thing for us to do was to take a red eye. Have you taken red eye flights before? I love taking red eyes. You get in your plane 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. You can either sleep or you can stay awake, and you get in somewhere at 7 in the morning usually, right? And then you have the whole day. And we're in travel across the coast. Like when you leave here, normally DC, if you leave here at 8, it's 4:30, and if you got like a 5 o'clock happy hour or reception or 6 o'clock, you really have hardly any chance to drop your bags, change your clothes, and hit it. And like, you know, the events that we go to in DC are more on the business and less on the casual side, right? So
yeah, it's not like attending a beer event in Phoenix. That's for sure.
So so we were going to do that, and then we were going to have the day. We were going to drop our bags somewhere, and last year we were able to go to take a tour of the Capitol. I was trying to figure out something else to do. You recommended some things. I wanted to go. I saw it. You can't go. You can't do. We'll be coming in on Monday. You can't do the White House on Monday, unfortunately. So we may be able to still stick it in, but I was going to look at the FBI. You wanted to go to Air and Space. We might be able to do both. I don't know. So I'm going to try to target that. But I made a change to my schedule. I will be joining you. I will be getting there a little early. I am going to fly to Montgomery, Alabama. And that is the capital of Alabama, to go see a Montgomery Biscuits game, because that's the day, one of the 2 days a year that the Montgomery Biscuits rename their team the Kimchi, and the recognition and proceeds go to a Korean American association.
아주 nice. 아주 nice. give up. 연애가 처음이라 내가 긴장할 것 같아. 너가 나의 모든 의문점. 우리 둘이 forever 세상에 안 이루어진단 말은 잊지 않기로 해. 기꺼이 잊지 않았으면 해 서로가 우리라는 말을 지켜.
In Montgomery. So I'm going to do that. Brenda's going to come. She's going to fly back. I actually got a hold of Dan Roberts, formerly the executive director, but the lobbyist over in Alabama. He said he might be able to join me. He told me that it was the lamest city in Alabama. So
That's not fair. The lamest city in Alabama. What about Jim?
I haven't reached out to him yet. But maybe I'll get a different opinion. But we looked at things. So here's the things that we're going to do, and this already puts it in the non-lane category. First of all, there's two breweries. There's already two breweries like within walking distance of our hotel, which is walking distance from Montgomery River Walk Stadium, right? I mean, the most expensive ticket is like $12, right? I guess they have 15 beers. I haven't looked at what beers they are, but I got to assume that there's some craft beer there. Anyway, the Hank Williams Museum, his gravesite and statue, 3 different places.
This sounds amazing.
There's there is the former home of Martin Luther King. There's the National Historical Social Justice Monument, which commemorates the lynchings of African Americans during the Freedom Rider era in the 50s. There's a whole bunch of things with former Representative John Lewis, who spent time there, Rosa Parks. So I hope to be immersed in some of that too. So it's not going to just be, baseball.
Cool.
And then I will join you, and then we'll work on that.
And then you're going to get there on Sunday afternoon, and you'll be sleeping while I'm on the plane. Also sleeping.
Oh, no. I don't get until like 10 o'clock because like the direct flight from Montgomery to D.C., which I was shocked that they had one, gets in at like 9:30. So I'm going to originally I was going to stay near the airport, but I think I'm going to stay in town more because it's still one subway. So you can join me for breakfast and you can take a shower and nap if you want. We can leave our bags because it's a Marriott property or Hilton property. I don't remember which. And then we can explore and then we can pick our bags up and check in anytime we want. So,
cool.
So, hopefully neither one of us will be dragging ass because that's going to be a fun day.
I'll be sleeping the whole flight. It's glorious. So Katie from the BA was talking about
Katie Marisic, the lobbyist.
Marisic. Yes.
The Brewers Association.
Yeah. The National Legislative Affairs Council.
Sure.
All right. She was saying that this year was going to be a little different. And why was that? Can you?
I don't recall. I wasn't on the call. I missed that call.
Maybe it's just the time. I think maybe it was the time.
We won't be talking we'll be talking mostly to staff.
Right.
It will be hot.
It will be uncomfortably hot, apparently.
Yeah. Muggy.
And we'll be wearing suits.
Yes. I don't know if they're, because like the last time we went, there were some opportunities for Zoom calls, and there was escorting to the to some of through the buildings. We had to be escorted, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. So
yeah, those are that's all over from what I'm understanding, right?
But I don't know what would make it different then, because I missed the call.
Okay. All right.
I totally flaked
Well,
it. But you were on it. We'll find out in another week.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I guess we're wrapping this thing up, yeah?
Yeah, because I'm probably going to be sunburned. On the neck.
Well, there's a lot less atmosphere to absorb those UV rays.
Yeah, I know. But it feels good.
All right.
I'm finally shaking off whatever this is, so this is good stuff.
Oh, the CBC 19?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Sometimes the beer finds you. Right?
It's not a podcast about beer. It's a podcast about beer.
No, it's not a beer podcast. It's a podcast about beer. You just said the same thing twice.
I know. I need to write it down.
All right. Well, maybe we need to change it. If you can't remember it.
Just because I can't remember it doesn't mean it's not memorable. It's the same thing as it's not a beer podcast. It's a podcast about beer. Okay.
All right. This is the Radio Clash on Pirate Satellite. That's how you remember it. I don't know.
All right. Goodbye, world.
All right, man.